started this one ages ago, but I haven't actually finished it. I just realized I could probably put my thing back up now. There we go. Uses my laptop because there was a hidden teleport, specifically this teleport, that doesn't actually show up on the map for some reason. Okay. Yeah, this is not good for you guys.
Where did you come from? So strong! Let's get out of here, boys! Run! Leave the stuff if you want to live! Drop all of it!
Easy peasy.
Well, they didn't put up much of a fight.
Because they knew they were up against. Because they knew who they were up. Guess. Oh, I knew. Because they knew what they were up against. That's a weird one. Reputation has its perks.
Thank you so much. I thought I wasn't gonna make it down this mountain alive. Saved by the traveler. Guess my luck's not too bad today. Sorry. Let me introduce myself. I'm Chevin, a gem artisan. I'm not usually this lucky, but maybe things are looking up.
It makes sense as to help.
I didn't mean to make her worry. I wasn't planning to be gone longer than 2 days, tops. But then, I discovered a new seam of volcanic crystal near the Shadow Pen. It's a large deposit, and the purity is exceptional. I dug up a whole bunch of it and was getting ready to head back. But the phlogiston within the crystals attracted monsters. Anyway, I'm sure you've seen the state this place is in. It's all because the Shadow Pen suddenly came crashing to the ground and left behind a massive crater. The seam I found was closer to the outside, so it survived the disaster. Still, the crash riled up the monsters in the area, and now they're everywhere. I panicked, and ran up a narrow path to avoid them. But by the time I was in the clear, I ended up running into these bandits.
If the situation was so dangerous, why didn't you just drop the crystals and run?
I left most of them behind, believe me. I only kept the purest chunk. I have to bring it back no matter what, for Tlasoli and poor little Nechka.
Right.
Right? You wouldn't know. Tlasoli is a former ancient name artisan, and Nechka is her daughter.
So she crafts ancient names?
That's right. Or, well, she used to. Now she just handles regular forging commissions. Because of her daughter, poor Nechka contracted an awful illness, and Tlasoli put everything aside to take care of her, even as Nechka's illness grew worse. Tlasoli never gave up. Like a torch in the night, she was determined to burn bright, even as darkness encroached from all directions. Still, all's well that ends well. Thanks to the doctor's medicine and the Ryok's protection, Nechka's flame was rekindled. Her condition has been slowly improving ever since. She's still weak, of course, and has to recuperate at home. She's well enough to write letters already. She often writes to Xilonen, apparently. Her dream is to become an ancient names forger, just like her mother. Her birthday's in a few days, so Tlasoli asked me to find a pure volcanic crystal to give her as a present.
Yeah, talk about an important chunk of ore.
I'm sure she and her mother appreciate your well wishes. All right, let's head back. Actually, why don't you come with me to visit Tlasoli tomorrow? It's all thanks to you that I managed to bring back the crystal. You deserve a reward for helping us protect something so significant.
That's right. A good mood makes for a quick recovery. And of course, we...
Don't worry, something tells me you'll like this one, but I'll let Tlasoli tell you what it is herself.
Okay, cool. It's a good thing that these are usually very short. I do have to go all the way back for it to actually start the next one though. Frick. Sometimes it ends herself. What? Oh, come on, really? Did it again.
Just steer clear of other people.
I forgot how you're supposed to get back up from here. I think you just have to go all the way around and then back up, I think, is the normal way. Hey, I forget I can actually just click on it and see under. Yeah, you have to go back around and go back up this way. Weirdly, really poor design choice. Like, just for the city itself overall. It's not really a city to try, but you know what I mean.
Oh, you're early. Looking forward to your gift?
That's right. Nechka's been so sick, and Tlasoli had to give up what she loved. Things might get better, but they could probably still use some cheering up.
I've already asked someone to swing by and let Tlasoli know we're coming. She's probably made all the necessary preparations. Let's go then. Do you mind watching the story, Mish? I'll be right back.
Horse echoes. Yeah, I had to like take a bit to remember what the heck this part of the story was even about. Because last time I was over here, I started that quest on accident. Ugh. Ugh. Oh, that's actually pretty far. Where the heck am I going? It's an interesting spot to live in.
Here we are. Nice house, right?
Can't be a movement character if you aren't dying to fall damage.
Tlasoli, open up! They're here! Tlasoli? Are you home? That's strange. Huh. The door's locked. But she shouldn't be out at this time of day. Hey, Nechka! Nechka! It's me, Chevin!
Maybe break down the door.
What happened to the two of them?
Let's not overthink things. They were doing just fine the last time I was here. Still, I told Tlasoli we were coming. Maybe she had to take Nechka out to get some medicine.
Hmm.
Hey, what's that over there? Looks like a Tepetlosaur nest.
That's right. Tlasoli has a Tepetlosaur companion, and she was still in the foraging business. She'd often have Alan go help with some digging work, but since Nechka fell ill, she hasn't let it dig much recently. Wait a minute. What the... This place is a mess!
Oh, look at all these broken boxes. Something terrible must have happened.
Yeah, story quest, alright.
The tracks ended this cliff. Could the Tepetlosaur have climbed up the mountain? Let's head up there and see. Whoa! There really is a Tepetlosaur up here. Might not be Tlasoli's companion, though.
It's like up here on its own.
Hey, Traveler! Paimon!
That's Chevin's voice.
Come down quick! Tlasoli's here!
Huh? We just got up here and Tlasoli's back already? What
Alright, let's get down there.
Why is the Technosaur coming along? Whoa, hey, don't run, you'll hit us!
Yangu, come here. You're being naughty again. Oh, that's a good son, you must be angry. Sorry. I'll look up something for you later. Go ahead. Run along and play. I'll come along in a sec. I was waiting for you at home on H-Cat. Wait, she snuck out and ran off by herself. She said she just wanted to pick some flowers for our guests, but she ended up getting lost along the way. Luckily, I managed to find her before then.
She alright?
Yeah, Kevin told us she was just starting to get better.
She's still very weak. The shock and the cold wind certainly didn't help, so she ended up with a slight fever. I gave her some medicine and now she's in bed, but it's nothing a good night's rest can't fix. That said, she won't be able to reach you today. I'm sorry you came all this way for nothing.
Don't worry about it. We know she's still recovering. Kevin told us how serious her illness was. Her health definitely comes first. We were just dropping by to check on her.
Yes, and to run away from eating her vegetables. She's a fast one, that's for sure. She jumps over chairs, hides under the table, and runs all around the house. Seeing how she is now, that's already enough. I really couldn't ask for more.
Hey, cheer up. This is supposed to be a happy occasion. We do appreciate that she tried to welcome us with flowers. Anyway, Tlasoli, about the thing I was telling you before.
Yeah, what did you get us?
Well, it's a Blazegem inscription. I made it from the purest ore, so it's almost completely resistant to erosion. The techniques used to make it are all rooted in ancient name planting.
Simplified version of an ancient name.
Don't say that or the Y of it snap. The process just uses a few of the same techniques and materials. When I first made one, I didn't think it could serve any practical purpose, apart from the erosion resistance and the general aesthetic. But then Chevin suggested using the crystals to make a special kind of ornament.
Blazegem inscriptions made by an ancient name artisan, engraved with words that never fade. Quite the sales pitch, don't you think?
Yeah, it's kind of cool actually.
Wow, that description really does make it seem special.
No wonder you run your own store.
Tlasoli's Blazegem inscriptions really are special, though. Word of mouth isn't always reliable. As information gets passed along, it becomes incomplete, forgotten, and sometimes even distorted. But the words inscribed on these crystals will stand the test of time. The inscription will never deteriorate, and the meaning will never get twisted. It's the perfect gift for a dear friend or significant other. You could even pass it down to younger generations.
You're really pushing the sales pitch.
100%. Let's buy one, Traveler. We can engrave our names onto it. Then, once we find your brother, we can get him to add his name as well. That way, our names will be together forever.
Looks like Palma's already been hooked.
You deserve it. You saved me. And Nechka's birthday present. It's the least I can do to repay you.
Chevin, I thought I told you.
Don't you start acting shy too, Tlasoli. It's a great gift. I know how much work goes into one of your Blazegem inscriptions.
Well then, thank you both. I'll have it ready as soon as possible. Nechka should be well by then. She'll be very excited to meet you.
Good things are better with company.
Whoa, let's not get ahead of ourselves. We don't even know how expensive that would be. You sure we have enough travel funds?
I have more than enough. Paimon, I have 13 million mora.
Hold on. This isn't part of some scheme to make us spend all of our mora, right? Kevin?
You never know. You do look like you have some savings to spare.
I have a shit ton.
No, don't listen to that, Traveler. You'll end up losing all your mora.
In any case, it's up to you.
I think they're actually then they used the wrong the wrong noises for the big saurian.
Oh no, it's the Technosaur again. Quick, someone stop it. Paimon doesn't want to get run over again.
It sits back
Also,
down.
if you don't mind, Tlasoli, I'd like you to help me repair my Blazegem inscription. I dropped it when I was attacked earlier. The rope and clasp both snapped, so I haven't been wearing it. I tried fixing it myself, but I just couldn't get it to stay.
Just leave it to me. I'll make it as good as new. Thank you, Chevin. For going all that way and
Thinking about the way the Blazegem inscription thing looked like, I don't think it'd be hard to just see something with a class, but I'd imagine you just use like a string, just wrap it around.
It was nothing. We all just want Magecat to get better.
You're right. Yangu, behave yourself. I'll feed you in just a second. I'll have Chetan contact you once everything's ready, Trevor. Maybe we'll even line it up with Nechka's birthday. We can even have a little party.
Whoa, that sounds great! We'll look forward to all the good food, and we'll make sure we're ready to eat. See you around, Tlasoli.
See,
Look after yourselves. Nechka is going to be so happy to meet you.
alright, that's the second one done. It's only been 15 minutes. But like I literally have 14 million Mora. The only reason my I went down a good bit was because I was building Varesa. And now it's gonna keep going back up again. Especially now that I'm at AR-60. Being at AR-60 basically just the main thing that you get is just a boost in your overall Mora production. Jeez.
Several days now. I wonder if Tlasoli has finished making the Blazegem inscription. Since Nechka's birthday is around.
Oh. Xilonen's having a nap.
Xilonen! Good thing you're here. I'm wondering if I can...
The shelf on the left, second row down, first X on the right. That one's yours. And the garden hoe belongs to Ignal, and the hammer is Pakal's, so make sure you take the one that's yours.
I haven't even said why I'm here. But looks like you're about to head out for a break.
Yes, but I am going to take it right here. The temperature is just perfect today.
Really? But doesn't it feel a lot hotter than usual? I really don't want to stay out in this heat.
Exactly. In hot weather like this, customers don't tend to stick around and talk when they're coming to place orders or pick up the goods.
Oh, here comes the right customer. I'll just leave you to it then, and pick up an axe.
Sure, sounds good to me.
Hey, Xilonen!
Okay, Paimon.
Oh, Traveler, Paimon! We meet again. Oh, you two seem to be in good spirits. Oh, how's your ancient name been? Run into any issues?
Nope, everything is fine.
Good. It was my first time working with the Lord of the Night to forge an ancient name, and you're not even from Natalia. There are still a lot of things that could go wrong, so I wasn't sure if there'd be any issues.
What are the chances that something might still go wrong?
Paimon, this is still a first-time experience. There's literally no knowledge on whether this could happen.
Well, less than the chances of Mulamani accidentally falling off a spirit way, I'd say.
Oh, well, that definitely would never happen.
She falls off a spirit way right now.
Xilonen. Thanks a lot. By the way, Nechka's birthday's coming up real soon. Are you planning to visit her?
I prepared a gift and was just getting ready to take it to her.
You're not planning on giving the kid a full set of flowers again, are you? Or, let me guess, woodworking tools?
You give these kinds of things as birthday
Yeah,
gifts?
that's right. Flowers will wither and toys will break, and snacks are quickly forgotten once they're eaten. But a set of durable work tools will always stay with you and get you through many sticky situations.
No, she's kind of right though. That is true. Honestly, the majority of the shit I've been given, not even just for birthdays, but for Christmases and stuff, most of the shit I've gotten through all that is just not there anymore. Honestly, that's why I like video games so much, because you get a video game, that thing is just sitting there the entire time. First of all, it doesn't break. You can't lose it. It doesn't take up space, technically. And most of them can be played even by an adult and still be good. Unlike most toys, which kind of just lose their edge after a while.
Well, still, I won't be giving Nichka any tools this year. She wrote me a letter saying that she'd like a copy of To Kill the Brave. The book is not what you call a bestseller, but luckily, I have a few copies in my collection. They were really old editions that were published a long time ago, but they should still be readable.
Children her age love fairy tales. The last time I was at Casoli's, I even brought Nature. Wait. Did I bring her again? It must have been her favorite thing, but...
Oh, it is quite hot today. Seems you're about to pass out from the heat. Do you?
My memory can't be this bad. It's just these last few days. I've been forgetting things for some odd reason.
Well, in that case, why don't you use the Blazegem inscription you have as a memo to engrave some important things to remember? After all, that inscription will never wear out. And it's easy to carry.
You do have a point, but my inscription is almost
Your name is that long?
no more. I engraved some wishes on my Blazegem inscription. You know, just some dreams that I have for the future and things I'd like to accomplish one day. Even though Trasoli has said that from an aesthetic point of view, it would be best for people to keep their inscription short, this Blazegem inscription was still made by a name engraver, the forger of ancient names themselves. Everyone thinks that the inscription she made might have some wondrous powers. So, many people who bought Blazegem inscriptions engraved their wishes and dreams on them, in hopes that they would come true.
Sounds kinda like a wish granny. But if you do that, won't everyone be able to see your wishes and dreams?
It could be a little embarrassing.
Don't worry. We usually ask Trasoli to add the inscriptions for us. She has a unique method of engraving. With her method, the light must be at a certain angle in order to see the text. Without the right angle of lighting, Blazegem inscription will just look like a pretty stone.
That's true. In the end, a Blazegem inscription is essentially just a piece of rock. It doesn't have the power to grant people's wishes. Making wishes to it is like shouting into an echoing valley. The only one who will answer is yourself. But using it as a journal for your wishes is also fine. Carrying them with you and taking a look from time to time can be a good source of encouragement. Well, as long as you don't suddenly change your mind and want to take your wishes back, that is. These things are extremely durable. It would take a lot of effort to change the words, and I don't think anyone would willingly part with it either. They're not cheap and very hard to get. If you ever lost it, you'd just be filled with regret. Still, it's really strange. Given Auntie's skill, how could it take so long for her to make one? Oh, well, I hope someone didn't give her an idea of making fewer and selling for more.
No, just the person that would do it. So it was Chevin's schemes.
It's true. Chevin would totally have put that in her ear. Still, I don't think it's such a bad thing for Trasoli to make some money by selling these. At least she and little Natka are better off now. And won't have to worry about the cost of treating her illness anymore. I was really worried about their family. And was even planning to send them some... Huh? What was I planning to send to Natka?
All right, if you stay out in the heat for any longer, I'm afraid even the inscription won't be able to save your memory.
Right. Right.
Yeah, something weird's going on.
Oh, yeah, sure, but I didn't expect you to know Tisoli too. She hasn't been coming to the tribe much lately, so how did you get a chance to talk with her?
Oh, wrong button. So we did this and that, and this and that, did this, that, and this.
Oh, so that's how you met her. She even wants to use volcanic crystal as a forging material. I guess she's really pulling out all the stops for her daughter.
We have no idea what
Let's
she might
just
like.
go and ask. Come on, I want to give her the book anyway.
Huh? Wait a second. Our birthday gift's supposed to be a surprise?
Not really. I mean, I choose all my Christmas and birthday gifts every time.
If
The
we
last few years.
ask her, then she'll know what gift we'll be getting her. And that would ruin the surprise.
But if you don't ask her, then how will you know what kind of present she would like? Here's another idea. Perhaps you can also give her a storybook based on what she wrote in her letter. That might be a good option.
I have loads of those in my bag.
Shall we give it a little more thought? If we all give her books, it might seem like we didn't put much effort into them. Xilonen, have you really never asked her what she would like the most? There must be something else she'd like besides books.
Unfortunately, no. Nichka's illness has kept flaring up over the past few years. Apparently, she couldn't do anything during that time other than rest in bed. She didn't even have the strength to talk to anyone. It wasn't until recently that she started to recover from her illness and regained strength to write letters to others. Anyway, there's no need to overthink it. Worst case scenario, I can split the book into 2 volumes and we can each give her one.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Even though it would ruin the surprise, we could at least get her something that would make her happy. Anyway, could you tell us a bit more about the book that you're getting her? Is it really that unpopular?
Well, it's a little difficult to explain. You see, there are actually 2 versions of To Kill the Brave. The premise of the book is pretty straightforward. It's basically about a set of twin brothers working to defeat a demon lord. But after defeating the demon lord, the older brother, To Kill, discovers that the king's spirit has possessed his younger brother, Remak. In the ending of the original story, the older brother kills his younger brother to defeat the demon lord, before jumping into a volcano.
Ooh, oh, what the heck is this image? That's kind of cool. I kind of want to look at that closer, but it doesn't let me look at it. This is long. You know what? I'm going to read this whole thing. Tale comes from the desolate, distant path in those days. Hold on. Hiccups. Goes a desolate, distant path. In those days, the mountain's teeth were still bared. Burns can be barred like blades against man and beast. That's what happens every time I drink water. God damn it. Thirsting for the souls of the feeble-minded human and non-human alike. People knew that the god of the mountains loved them not, and was to be given a wide berth. Yet they were forced to seek shelter in caverns from the storms screaming through the wilds, all to pass one long night after the next. But these caverns, like the mountains, extracted payment from these vagrants. Countless were the tribes who lost kin to the wastes through which they stumbled up blind. Valiant Tequil and his kind-hearted brother Remak were born to one such tribe. At the hour of their birth, the long, troubling night reigned inside and outside the caves, and though the campfires around which the tribespeople sat flickered, none were comforted by the light the people thought. These fires shall soon go out, and once it does, we too shall be finished. How long will this night last? I'm cold, hungry too. Let's hurry things up then. Quickly let me walk into the light. Better than this torment. Oh, you poor children, you poor children. Yet Tequila and Rock did not announce themselves with sorrowful cries as their children did. Instead, Tequila stared into the cavern depths. The minions of the cavern did their best to frighten him, but his gaze swept over them as keen as a sharp stone spur. He has seen us, our sharp claws and long teeth, but he is not afraid. The wicked creatures whispered amongst themselves anxiously, and involuntarily retracted said appendages. Remark for his part waved his hand and laughed. His laughter was like pebbles tumbling in a stream, drawing the eyes of all the distressed tribe people to his face. Only then they noticed that the flame wavered, it had never ceased to burn, and with another wave of his hands, Remark patted the firewood next to him. Feed the flame, the elderly chief, thus reminded by the newborn boy, shouted his words aloud, repelling the fear that had been about to swallow the tribe whole. People stood and fueled the fire, and they drew their obsidian blades, casting their eyes into the cavern depths just as Tequila had. The beasts of the cavern were filled with rage and hate, but they knew that these people would not loosen their grip on their weapons, nor would their eyes be shut. Terror had already fled, and so death was forced to retreat. Only when the sun rose again did the brothers close their eyes, falling asleep in their mother's bosom. Thus did the tribespeople depart the cave. Having lived another day, these people who had rejected fear would live countless days more. Yet the defeat of her evil underlings caught the eye of their master, Kotlikyo. For this lord of demons, who claimed to be the mother of the underworld and mistress of 10,000 times 10,000 caves, whose fangs were the rocky stalactites, whose tongue was every blast of wet, frigid wind, and who upon awakening could only be satiated by devouring 10,000 living souls, Tequila and Remak were the first humans to slip her grasp. Shamefaced, this earth mother waved her hand, lashing the evil beast cowering the side with the rock. Go, go, redeem your humiliating failure, capture those dim-witted mortals and fill my stomach. But having seen their fears vanquished, the people remembered well the methods of scattering those terrors time after time. They settled at the foot of the mountain, sharpened wooden stakes, lit fires, and gave the sharpest blades to their best warriors, with which they would stand guard behind the stakes. Their bright eyes pierced the wilderness beyond the firelight, and did not shift their gaze away from even a moment. By blade and fire did Kotlekil's minions taste defeat time after time, until they could do nothing but huddle in the dark, daring not to draw out near the flame. The fires in the hearts of the people ignited, and they began to speak of victory, of light, and of the end of the Viper. They believed in Tequila and Remak. These two brothers could surely keep the heat and light alive. Tequila and Remak thought the same, and so they sharpened their spears and blades, preparing to drive the demon lord of that evil serpent to her doom. But the Earth Mother, who hated this tribe, did not relent. She took sludge from the deepest parts of the caves and pinched it into a snake. Then she plucked out her eye, setting it into the serpent's eye socket. It was that child who caused you to witness the fire, and so let me go and swallow his eyes. One evening, when the sun had just set, night's veil was slowly covering the sky, and the stars had yet to begin granting their light. The serpent bit and slew a rabbit beyond the tribe's bounds, and burrowed into the skin, flying flat on the ground. Remak, returning from gathering herbs, came upon this rabbit, and seeing its wound, the kind child put his torch down, and without hesitation reached for his herbs. He chewed on them, preparing to apply them to the rabbit. The snake, speaking for the Earth Mother, leaped from the wound, hissing laughter. Ignorant, foolish human, sacrificing yourself for a lowly rabbit. Before Remak could retrieve his torch, the Earth Mother's serpent lashed his fangs over his neck, then, burrowing into his body, captured his heart and soul both. The defenseless sentries were the next to be murdered by the Earth Mother, for they greeted Remak just as they always did when he returned from gathering herbs, only to be pierced through the heart by the serpent, dying on the spot. The entire tribe's fires were put out, and amidst the shroud of darkness, death and terror were resurgent. Earth Mother spat the snake out, and through poisoned fangs she cried, "Behold, behold, you arrogant fools, and kneel as you should in the dust." But the sound of a rock being struck cut her off, for Tequil, who had been sharpening his obsidian blade, used it to create sparks to set his tent alight. He raised his blade and charged forward, letting fly his blade at the Earth Mother's messenger. The blazing edge cleaved the poisoned serpent, molded from soil, with ease, but as Tequil was about to follow through, he saw his brother's eyes and the blood staining his brother's hands. That instant was all the time the wounded viper needed to escape, yet nigh fully charred it was still, and the Earth Mother's eye reduced almost to ashes. If this tribe was destroyed, never again was there a chance it would dare defy her. Thus did the Earth Mother comfort herself as she retreated into the darkness. How Tequil wished to call out Remak's name, but the burning dust caught in his throat, and so he could only watch as his brother vanished into the night. When the night had last passed, Tequil, who stood amidst the ruins, knew that the surviving tribespeople could no longer stay. Bearing his confusion and pain deep in his heart, he led them on a new journey. Across mountains and canyons, dodging fearsome beasts and poisonous insects, Tequil did not close his eyes for so long as they journeyed, nor did he dare to loosen his grip on blade or torch. Finally, by a silent volcano, they found a tribe willing to take them in. Oh, that would be the Collective of Plenty. Only after he saw the last of his tribe peacefully fall into slumber under the old shaman's care did he relax and collapse to the earth. When he awoke, he found himself in a blazing cave. The lava that surrounded him undulated with an erratic pulse, as if the very mountain was slowly breathing. When he stood up, the lava boiled and bubbled, and a rumbling came from all directions. "Do not search for your brother. His eyes have been devoured by a cunning serpent. But I must save him and pursue the venomous snake also." His words echoed through the cave, but the goddess of mountains and fire was silent. Tequil thus prayed unto her, "Let my brother's name live on. I am willing to sacrifice my heart and blood in return." The goddess answered him in the echoing cave. Thus said she, "Your prayer have I heard, but your brother is no longer your kin. His name is sunken into the deepest of depths." Tequila raised his head and lifted up his wish to the goddess. "Turn my blood to fire, so my heart may illuminate the depths. I will bring my brother back before my blood runs dry. Turn my blood to fire until my soul may sear and slay that serpent. I will take its head before my blood runs dry." When Tequila once again awoke, the old shaman of the tribe gave him a brand new sword, food, and water. Finally, the shaman clasped his shoulders and blessed him. "May your fire dry the venomous snake's venom." Thus did Tequila embark on another journey. His strength was endless, his body tireless, and his blood burned like lava. He crossed grassy fields and snowy peaks, deep valleys and high mountains. The goddess of mountains and fires showed him the way of the falling rocks and the cracks and cliffs. Thus did Tequila stride forward without hesitation. When he met his brother again, the Earth Mother mocked him once more, using Remak's body and voice. But when her claws pierced Tequil's chest, he moved not. Instead, her bones were melted by his burning blood. Tequil stared the vicious demon lord down, and said in a loud voice, "My brother is gentle of heart. He would surely have made this land a better place. Yet you have affronted him with your poison, smothered his virtue, slaughtered those who had faith in his virtue." Die, you despicable venomous insect, die here. As he roared, Tequil's blood stained his obsidian blade, turning it red hot in an instant. The Earth Mother watched in terror as her shell, bones, and soul were sundered. She wished to scream, to buy but a moment in which she could unleash her claws and tear Tequil to ribbons. But she could make no sound, for in the fire's light the silent soul to whom this body once belonged awakened, and that soul cried out to his brother, I do not wish to see your blood be reduced to ash, but I have seen the light of your heart and spirit. Remember my name, brother. As long as you remember me, I will never have left. The blazing flames swept over every corner in that gloomy, frigid cavern, and every last poisonous insect within was slain, burned to ash, alongside every plot and scheme so heinous and vile. As the last drop of his blood was about to burn away, the roof of the cave above Tequil's head trembled, fissure opened, and a gem fell down and stopped up his wound. The goddess of mountains and fire spoke once more, and her voice echoed across the walls. You yet have one drop of blood. Return to your tribe, for this is your brother's wish, and I will see it fulfilled. One night the old shaman, who had waited day after day beyond the tribe's bounds, stood to welcome the returning Tequil. But Tequil refused the water, the food, and the cheers. Instead he simply said, The venomous snake is slain, and I am victorious, but I shall soon depart along with my brother. He took the gem from his chest, placed it upon a torch, and walked up to the silent volcano. I have but one drop of blood left, but it was not left for me, but rather for justice and fairness, for the good and the brave. Use it in the light of fire, a flame that shall never be extinguished. Having said that, valiant Tequil leaped into the dead volcano. The earth was shaken by his heart and blood, and the volcano's own heart resumed beating. The blazing lava once more beginning to flow. The volcano lives, as does the bravery of all the tribes. Cool. Really good.
I remember there was one line that was super popular at the time. If I still remember right, after being possessed by the goddess Coatlicue,
Does it show up in your head? It's not.
I do not wish to see your blood be reduced to ash, but I have seen the light of your heart and spirit. Remember my name, brother. As long as you remember me, I will never have left.
So what about the other version?
The other version was released only recently. The author heard a suggestion from someone and suddenly decided to try and make a stake in the fairy tale market, so the story was revised. In the revised version, the brothers killed the demon lord together and both survived. According to the author, this gave the story a happy ever after kind of ending. However, the revised version was not well received. After a month in market, it had hardly sold any copies and the books were collecting dust on the store shelves. The store owners desperately tried to get rid of the book and have resorted to all sorts of promotions and discounts to sell it. Even now, the only edition of To Kill the Brave you can find in the market is the newer one, whereas the older edition is nearly impossible to find. Anyway, I couldn't bring myself to give such a poorly rated book to Nichka, so I spent a few days looking and managed to find a few copies of the old edition in the warehouse. I picked out a copy that looked relatively new and wrapped it up as a present for Nichka. If you're interested, I can give you this extra copy to read. The pages are pretty old though, so please be gentle with it. Oh, and here's a copy of the newer edition too. They gave me a free copy when I went to buy some chocolatl.
So that's how they're trying to sell off the book. Could it really be that bad? Even Paimon's curious now.
That's two more for the collection.
Let's get going. Xilonen lives pretty far from the tribe, so it'll take us some time to get there.
The direction for that let's get going part was definitely incorrect. Another book for the list. Another book that I have to read at some point. You can tell which one's older. Somewhat aged copy, which I believe is what I just read. And then there's this one, which I have not read. I've still got another 22 minutes in this specific recording, so I'm going to sit here and read the new one. Okay, let's see. This tale comes from the desolate, distant past. In those days, the mountain's teeth were still bared like blades against man and beast, thirsting for the souls of the feeble-minded, human and non-human alike. People knew that the god of the mountains loved them not, and was to be given a wide berth, and that they were forced to seek shelter in caverns from the storms screaming through the winds, all to pass one long night after the next. But these caverns, like the mountains, extracted payment from these vagrants. Countless were the tribes who lost kin to the voice of the blind. Celtic is carded with a remarkable wonder of such tribes, so to go out, sort of children, poor children, Mark the mountains with star cries, the children did, sharp pleasant dude was not afraid. Mark for sun, feed the flame, people stood before the fire, and they trooped sitting both for some eyes. This is the cavern filled with rage and hate. The brothers closed their eyes, falling asleep in the mother's bosom. The tried to depart the cave, having met another day. Trying to look for the parts where it changes. The fears vanquished, the people remembered well the methods scouting stars at the same time. And the mountain sharpened with stakes. Face of wilderness beyond the firelight. By blade and fire did accused minions taste of each hammer fire until they were driven to battle in the dark and daring not to draw near the flame. Fires in the hearts of the people ignited, and they began to speak of victory of light and of the end of the viper. They believed in killing Remark, these two brothers who could surely keep the light alive. Remark thought the same, so they sharpened their spears. And yet the mother, who hated this tribe, did not relent. She took sledge from the deepest parts, fire, so let me go to swallow his eyes. Okay, this is probably where it changes. Before Makuruchi was torched and was burned, lashed his fangs, turned his neck, but then Bardick's body, captured his heart and killed both. She next was murdered. Raised his blade and charged forward, letting his fly his blade at the earth with his messenger. The blazing edge cleaved the poisoned serpent, molted with so ease. He was about to fall through his with his eyes. The weapon just escaped, destroyed, never used fire. His path gave us his wounds and the swamp trust would no longer stay. Across mountains and canyons. We'll take them in. And after he saw the last of his tribe peacefully from slumber, the little chumps carried, he relaxed and collapsed to the earth. He woke, he found himself in a blazing cave, lava surrounding his true brother. Blood in return, prayer I've heard. Then, stuck into the depths, he raised his head and lifted up his wish to the goddess. Turn my blood to fire, so my heart may illuminate the depths. I will bring my brother back before my blood runs dry. Turn my blood to fire until my soul may see her instead of the serpent. I will bring the snake's venom. He embarked his journey, his strength was endless, his body tireless, and his blood burning like lava. He crossed grassy hills, stone peaks, deep valleys, and high mountains. Across the mountains of fire showed him the way of the fallen rocks, the cracks and cliffs. Thus did Tequil's trifle without hesitation. His brother again, the earth mother mocked him. Once again, he remarked body and voice. Swollen her claws pierced Tequil's chest. He moved not, and said her bones were melted by his burning blood. Tequil shared that he's just demon down into the voice. My brother's gentle of heart, you would surely have made this land a better place. Yet you have affronted him with your poison, smothered his virtue, slaughtered those who had faith in his virtue. Die, you despicable venomous insect, die here. As you roared, Tequil's blood-stained his blade, turning it red hot in an instant. The Earth Mother watched in terror as her shell bones were sundered. Was out. Goddess mountains. Driven by the light as you should, blazing flames sweat over the every corner like gloomy fishy cavern, and every last poisonous insect within was slain, burned to ash alongside every plot and scheme, Chinese and vile. As the last drop of his blood was about to be burned away, the roof of the hole above Tequil's head trembled. As you opened, the gem fell down, as if it had been bitten by the serpent. The falling rocks too formed a body for the soul that had been bitten by the serpent. The goddess of mountains and fire spoke once more in a voice. I have seen your heart and blood. I shall give you my own. Go back now, return to your tribe with your brother. Yet this heart and blood shall not be left for you, but rather for justice and fairness, for the good and the brave. One night, the old shaman who had waited day and night for the returning brother as a brother of Remark, they offered the water and food. They took the offered water and food and said, "The venomous snake is slain, and we are victorious. Hearts and blood do not remain for us, but rather for justice and fairness, for the good and the brave. Like the fire, together we shall stand and assure." Yeah, it's a good bit more boring. It's the whole thing of no consequence that I think about a lot in like other media as well. Stories that have no consequence are kind of boring, to be honest. Like, sometimes I can understand it. Like, for example, I can understand it not happening with Hu Tao in the Lantern Rite quest. But to be fair, can't kill a character off in a temporary event. That wouldn't make any sense.
Go on now, Leander. Machka is still resting.
It's Masali, we're here!
Xilonen is here too.
I came to visit Nechka.
It's been a while since I've seen you, Auntie. I received Nechka's letter. She wanted a copy of To Kill the Brave, right? Well, I've brought the book for her. There are several editions of the book in Natlan, and I wasn't sure which version she'd prefer. I asked a messenger from the Scions of the Canopy. It seems this softcover edition is one of the most popular options, so I bought it for Nechka.
You haven't changed a bit, Xilonen. Let's go inside. I was just boiling some chocolate, so you can all try some. Xilonen used to love drinking chocolate. When she was little, she would always have several cups every time she came to visit me. You were already a big girl by the time I finally had my Nechka. Alright, for now let's...
Auntie, let's go inside. Traveler, please help me get her into the house.
Interesting.
Oh, I know how too. Be good, Yangu, and don't hit the way.
Alright, let's get indoors.
I guess it's just really, really canonically hot outside right now. I wish there was a way to, like, tell how hot it is. They should add, like, an actual temperature system and have small changes depending on the actual temperature. Like certain mobs and enemies not existing within their certain areas because it's too hot.
Nechka's illness has been flaring up recently, so I was up for a few nights. I suddenly started to feel dizzy in the sun. I hope I didn't scare you. Have a seat. I'll fetch you a few cups of chocolate.
Oh, I've already brought them over. This cup's for you, Auntie. And these are for you, too.
Chocolate? What does it taste like?
Oh, don't worry. Auntie always adds a lot of sugar. It won't be bitter.
What is chocolate?
The last time you came to visit, you were still just a kid. But now you're a pillar of the children of Echoes. No, although Natlan even.
Oh, well, it's all thanks to the drinks I had here and the books I happen to read.
Been close for quite some time then?
Weird that you two are from the same tribe. But Paimon had no idea you were so close.
When I was little, my parents were always talking about how skilled Auntie was at forging ancient names and how she was a good role model for the rest of us. The moment I became idle at home, they would toss me into Auntie's workshop to watch and learn.
Then I would have your parents go back, boil you a pot of chocolate, and let you play in the house.
Yeah, and then I would drink and listen to you banging away with your tools in the workshop. But eventually, she moved out of the tribe to find some more space, and I didn't have the chance to visit again after that.
But why did you seem so familiar with the place when you went to the kitchen for the drinks just now?
Because the layout of this place is identical to her old house. Let me see. Yeah.
That's right. I remember you used to hunker down in the room to read and draw, but you're all grown up now. Even if you wanted to live here, I'm afraid you've already outgrown Nechka's bed. That's how Nechka sees Xilonen too. Whenever she's feeling better, she always asks me when her pen pal sister will be coming to visit.
Well, yeah, I'm here now, and even brought a gift as an apology. I'll leave the book here.
You said Nechka asked you for the book? I hope it wasn't too much trouble to get. Really, I'm surprised that she even asked you for a present. When she's at home, she'd even ask me for permission to eat some snacks. Maybe I've been too strict with her. She's obviously starting to like her big sister more than her own mother.
Oh, really? Well, I'd say I really haven't done enough to deserve the title of Big Sister. Yeah, I wasn't able to help her when she was sick, and I didn't even come and visit her that many times. The only thing I have been able to do is to help her find some books.
Don't be too hard on yourself, Xilonen. You have great responsibilities as the name engraver of the tribe. We both know you were far too busy to take care of her. The responsibilities on your shoulders also became far heavier when I gave up on my work.
You just have more important things to tend to, Auntie. No one in the tribe blames you. We all know that Nechka needs her mother's care.
But that doesn't change the fact that I gave up on my work. And even now, I still have not found the courage to pick up my hammer again. I'm sorry to leave you to shoulder all the responsibilities alone, Xilonen.
Oh, why so somber all of a sudden? Don't be so sad, everyone.
Oh, relax, Auntie. I can handle the work. But once Nechka is back on her feet, you should get back to work and let me have a vacation.
vacation. You'll be the one who's busy then, and I'll be sitting at the side drinking chocolate and cheering you on.
If that day really comes, you can have as much chocolate as you like. If you asked me before, I wouldn't have even been able to talk about it. But now that she's gradually recovering, I've also gained some courage to face what happened back then. Neitchka's illness actually originates from the Abyss. That night, I was in the tribe, having a discussion over the forging of new ancient names. Before we could finish our discussion, the alarm started to ring outside. A horde of monsters from the Abyss suddenly attacked the tribe, so everyone banded together to fight them off. I joined the fray as well, and it wasn't until the monsters were repelled that I got back home with some guards from the tribe. But Nechka was gone. I can't remember how long I spent searching for her. Maybe for 2 or 3 days. In the end, we found Nechka at the bottom of a short cliff. She was holding a dried up embercore flower in her hand, and there were traces of abyssal corruption around her wounds. I know. It was all my fault. Before the incident, Nechka had asked if I could forge an ancient name for her. Work was busy at the time, so I told her that if she could find an embercore flower, I would use it as material to forge her an ancient name. Oh, Nechka, my daughter, my Nechka. I was holding her in my arms, but no matter how many times I called her name, she wouldn't open her eyes and look at me. I was the one who decided to move my workshop to the outskirts of our tribe for work, and I was the one who left her home alone.
Oh, hey! It's okay, right? She already has the strength to write letters now, doesn't she? Xilonen has even brought her a gift.
Sorry. I just can't control myself whenever I remember that time. All right. It's not every day that I get guests. I asked someone to buy some ingredients for me. So, why don't you stay for dinner tonight? I'll make some shrimp bisque, grilled fish and mint sauce, and tallow tacos.
Well, Hep, that sounds like a lot to make, and we don't want you to tire yourself out.
At least flex my cooking skills.
Thank you both, but don't worry. It's just a few dishes. I'll be fine. You 3 just need to make sure everything gets eaten up. I can't eat a lot at this age.
Oh, we haven't had anything to eat yet, so don't worry. We'll make sure there are no leftovers.
Ah, it just occurred to me that Xilonen likes to eat cheesy crab hot pot. Why don't I make that instead of the grilled fish and mint sauce? I remember you don't like picking out fish bones.
Both are fine with me. I've learned to just chew up the fish bones now.
That's honestly kind of based.
Come on
Just
now.
eat the bone.
If you don't want to pick out the bones, I can just take them out for you.
It's kind of like I had a friend who would just eat the bone of the chicken. He got finished eating the chicken and then just ate the entire bone.
Anyway,
Which makes
before
sense with
dessert,
bird bones.
would you like a cup of grain fruit or chocolate?
It makes sense considering the fact that bird bones are hollow and much easier to chew.
How about grapefruit?
How
Chocolate.
about a cup of green fruit mixed with chocolate?
Okay, got it. I ordered a bunch of ingredients, and they should be here any minute now. Come on, Xilonen. Stop lying around. You shouldn't nap before dinner. It'll ruin your appetite.
I don't know if that's true.
Hey, I'm not a kid anymore, you know. You don't have to worry about my appetite.
That's beside the point. If you don't watch out for your health while you're still young, then when you get older, you'll...
All right. I'm getting up.
We'll go check on the ingredients with Xilonen. It isn't...
Again, this is why I hate that this only works in Sumeru. I really want to see what people are thinking so badly. Ramp. Whee! I love how floaty the Collective of Plenty is.
No one's come to deliver the ingredients yet. Paimon thought we'd see someone come flying down on a Yunkasaur as soon as we came out.
A messenger from the Scions of the Canopy wouldn't be flying here. They usually come climbing down the cliffs nearby. No need to look. There isn't anyone on the cliffs.
Those parts got lost.
I just saw a ghost. Hey, you there. Sorry, but does Soli live around here?
Oh, are you the one who's supposed to deliver the ingredients?
I'm assuming it is.
Ingredients? Are you kidding? I was nearly eating myself. Never mind that now. Those monsters are still hot on my heels.
Xilonen, where'd she go? Whoa, she's already gone up to fight the monsters! Let's go help her out!
Huh. Is he gonna force me to have Xilonen? Yep.
Alright, that should be it for the monsters. It was easier than I thought. Oh, it also seems we're in good luck. The goods weren't damaged either.
Strange. We didn't see any monsters on the way here.
You provoked him,
Yeah,
did you?
right. I use this road to deliver goods all the time, and I've never been attacked like this before. It's the main road in and out of the tribe, so people often come here to clear out any monsters. This area is usually very safe. I don't know what happened, but it seems like all the monsters around here have gone berserk. Even the docile Tepetlosaurs are in a frenzy. Soli doesn't even forge ancient names anymore. So why can't she just move back to the tribe? If she comes back, Nechka will even be able to find some playmates. Nechka's playmates. No, wait, I feel like my kids have played with her before. They've even told me about Nechka's favorite game. Strange. I always remembered it before.
Look at that. He has a Blazegem inscription too.
Luck shouldn't be the problem. There's quite a market for these
You
inscriptions.
should go back to the tribe. It seems like you had quite the scare today. I'll carry these bags, and you two can carry the rest.
Sure thing.
If you say so. Thank you so much. I guess today's just a really bad day for me to go outside.
That's so weird. Why is everyone we run into today having trouble remembering stuff?
All carrying Blazegem inscriptions.
Emma's not sure how to say it, but she's got a strange feeling about this.
Once you live long enough, you'll eventually start experiencing strange days like this. Let's bring the ingredients back. Otherwise, we won't have anything to eat tonight.
It's a lot of stuff. Like, a lot of stuff. Starting the recording.